Hello YouTubers, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments down below. Please give me a little thumbs up and hit the subscribe while you're there. It really helps support my channel. Today I am celebrating over 2 years of pranayama practice. I haven't missed a single day since May of 2018. So today I wanted to share a little bit about what this practice has done for me and why I'm never gonna stop. For those of you unfamiliar with my story, I will link it above, but Cliff Notes version, I became severely ill in 2015 and was really unable to leave my bed or my house for over a year. During that time, I was so very grateful to have pranayama and meditation practice in my tool belt. Prior to getting sick, I was a really active person. I was a field biologist, I was a hiker, I was a rock climber, and I had a lot of emotional impact from just having to stay in bed all day, on top of all the physical symptoms that no one could really explain, and it was just such a terrifying experience. So I really started leaning in heavily on the breathwork side of yoga. If you are wondering what the heck is pranayama, don't worry, you're not alone. It is actually the basis of what you think of yoga today. So when you think of yoga, you probably think of those static poses that the ancient rishis were doing, and these were all designed to open and stretch the body so that they could sit and practice pranayama breathwork and meditation for longer periods of time. They really thought this was the path to enlightenment. Modern science is really uncovering some fascinating effects of an intentional breathing practice. They say about 20% of the oxygen we take each breath goes into our brain, into our cognitive abilities. However, most adults are not utilizing the full capacity of their lungs. Most of us start out, if you have any toddlers or babies in your life, notice how they are breathing. Most of them are going to breathe full, deep, diaphragmatic breathing with filling their bellies round out, and as those lower lobes of the lungs are filling up, and as they exhale, the belly falls, and this is known as a horizontal breathing pattern. It is relying on that giant diaphragm muscle that stretches all around the lower rib cage. And as we breathe in, it's pressing down and pressing out those lower ribs so that those lungs can really expand. However, somewhere around school age, we begin sitting down a lot and hunching over, and we're not able to utilize that diaphragm fully. So we actually start what's known as vertical breathing pattern, and this is relying on all these little tiny muscles of the upper chest and the neck and the shoulders, and we're taking these short, shallow breaths, just filling the upper portion of our lungs. We're hunched over our computers or our phones or our TVs or whatever screen you're on, and we're not able to use that diaphragm. So just having a intentional breathing practice is going to help strengthen the diaphragm first off and help us become a little bit more aware of our resting breathing pattern. They show that we are about 22 hours of the day is spent involuntary breathing, right? We're just on autopilot. We don't have to think about it. Our body just breathes. So if we can incorporate some really strong diaphragmatic intentional breathing in those other 2 hours that we are aware of our breath, we can start to influence that involuntary breathing pattern. So over the years, I've been doing this, and I've noticed my posture is better, my digestion is better, because as we are breathing in, like I said, it presses down, the diaphragm presses down and it expands those lower ribs. as we exhale, it's drawing back in, and each breath, each full breath that we're using that diaphragm muscle is massaging all the digestive organs underneath it. So it can really help to digest and reduce toxins. And our lungs, so we don't think about how much there really is. If you feel around on your rib cage, it goes all the way down here. I mean, our lungs are huge organs that are so powerful at detoxifying the body. So I actually found this practice in my 20s, like 18 years ago, and I didn't really give it as much weight as the actual physical yoga practice. I was very athletic. I actually started gymnastics when I was 2 years old, so I was one of those yogis that was doing handstands and all of that. And when I got sick and became mostly bedridden, I couldn't do any of that stuff, and I really found a lot of healing and comfort in these simple breathing practices. So before I got really intentional with my daily practice in May, and have been doing it every single day since, before May, I was unable to drive every day. I was unable to get dressed every day. I definitely wasn't able to drive at nighttime. I wasn't able to read very well. I wasn't able to have a functional day. I was very fatigued. I had much worse digestive issues than I'm having now. So much has improved, and I feel overall throughout the day I have a lot more peace and mindfulness about the things I'm doing. My memory has improved, my digestion has improved, my skin, my hair. I mean, it's just insane what your breath can really do. So when we are breathing the best we can possibly breathe, it really impacts every single function of the body. I highly recommend you get a intentional breathing practice. There's many different patterns and ways you can practice. I offer free classes every Friday on Facebook around noon Pacific in the group The Lyme Ease with Jen Hyla. I will link it below. And I've linked above a few of my guided practices available here on YouTube. You can also find more information and a free practice downloadable MP3 on my website, jenhyla.com/resources on the resources page. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to keep this one short, and I will be back next Thursday. So go ahead, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Until then, keep healing. Bye.